Okay, we want you guys to stick around because we have to talk about the Dems. We haven't talked a lot about the Dems yet, but our digital reporter who's been embedded with the Clinton campaign is on Skype. She was there all last night. She's actually still in Iowa, even though the Clinton and the entire clan has moved over to New Hampshire. First off, thanks for getting up. I don't know how you're holding up, but what was the mood like yesterday?
Well, okay, so here's the situation, right? We're at Drake University, which is where the Clinton campaign was hosting what they called their victory party. And so all of these Clinton supporters who were, out caucusing came straight from the caucus to Drake University to celebrate with Secretary Clinton. And they'd been in there for, at least a few hours by the time Clinton got there, and they were excited. There was cheering, there was screaming. And so when she got there and she said, I'm breathing a sigh of relief, to them, they thought, okay, she's won, and they are excited for her. She never said the words, I won the caucus, though, okay? I want to point that out. But someone who has endorsed her here in Iowa, and his name is Senator Senator Harkin, he said before she went on, he said, you know what? This is a close race, but even a narrow win is a win. And so everyone in the room, by the way that Clinton was acting and by the words that Senator Harkin had to say, former Senator Harkin who's endorsed her, they thought, you know what? All right, it looks like she's won. He's calling it a narrow win, and she's sighing relief. And so there was all this exuberance. And she leaves, and almost everyone in the room clears out, right? And then you have a few people who stick around, and they're looking at CNN, and they're thinking, this looks pretty close. And those are the people that I spoke with, and I said, how are you guys feeling? And they were a little bit confused. A few of them said, I thought she would be doing better. I thought she would be totally the winner at this point, and that wasn't the case. So there was definitely some confusion in the room after Clinton left, and when those, stragglers were left watching CNN thinking, wait a second, what just happened?
Mm-hmm. Well, I was going to actually talk to Linda about that, because you're hearing what Kylie's saying about, her supporters really expecting her to take this victory and run. Is even a narrow win a win for Hillary Clinton?
Yeah, I think absolutely. We talked about this some last night. I think that the tie ends up being a net loss for Bernie Sanders because, again, these were his chances, Iowa and New Hampshire, to set this strong kind of Trump-esque unstoppable narrative. And because he ended up at a tie or at a narrow loss, that's actually an overall loss for him. The other thing I would say is that when you saw Hillary Clinton on stage last night, the one thing that was definitely not contrived was that level of jubilation that you saw her express. I mean, she was clearly overjoyed. She was clearly really happy about the way things turned out, and that's got to have an effect on your volunteers. The other piece that people may not be aware of is there's a little bit of an element of you got to tell your people that you're organizing that it's going to be a big win. You need to keep motivating them to keep fighting, keep organizing, keep doing all the things that you've been training and working with them for months. So there's a little bit of a balance there.